Angry and determined, they marched across the river Tigris, through unmanned checkpoints, into the heart of the fortified green zone. Thousands of members of the Iranian-backed Popular Mobilization Forces and their supporters surrounded the compound of the US Embassy to deliver a stern warning.
This is a message to Trump and to the American Embassy and Consulate in Baghdad, Erbil and Basra. Watch out, you have touched our soldiers and our brothers.
They set fires at the outer gates as they tried to get inside the embassy grounds.
The situation appears to be escalating now, with hundreds, perhaps thousands of members of the Popular Mobilization Forces having reached to the gates of the US Embassy. They're throwing stones, they're burning trees, they're trying to climb the wall to breach the US Embassy compound, and they're chanting anti-American slogans. They're demanding the withdrawal of American troops from Iraq.
The action is in response to US airstrikes that killed dozens of fighters from the Hezbollah brigades, which form part of the Popular Mobilization Forces. It all began as a funeral procession to honor those killed. Crowds paid their respects as the bodies passed by and vowed to avenge their deaths.
This cowardly act was carried out by the US and Israel. They will pay a high price. We will take a strong stand, and we will not forget the blood of the martyrs as long as there's breath inside of us. We will tell them that we are here on the streets and we are here to stay, and there will be an aggressive response to them. Their bases are not safe.
Top PMF leaders support this march, including Hadi al-Amari, the leader of the biggest bloc in parliament, and there is Qais al-Khazali, who led an insurgency after the US-led invasion in 2003. They pledged to use both military and political means to expel US troops.
This embassy has proved it conspires against Iraq. This is the embassy where they spy on Iraq and where they lead the destruction of Iraq. This is where the saboteurs are supported.
The US Embassy is located in the heavily fortified Green Zone. For months, Iraqi security forces have guarded it against anti-government protesters, but this time they appear to have orders to stand down. The Prime Minister has condemned the attack on the embassy, but the fact that these crowds have been allowed to reach the embassy gates appears to signal the government's implicit endorsement of the message they are trying to send.
Iran has strong relations not only with the security groups that we talk about, that we've been talking about, but also with the political groups, with the institutions, with state and non-state actors inside Iraq and across the political spectrum from Sunni, Shia and Kurdish groups.
Through loudspeakers, crowds in Tahrir Square, who've camped out for months to protest against the government and Iranian influence, renounced any connection to the group that entered the Green Zone. This attack on the US Embassy could turn into a diplomatic crisis. Many fear it could be the beginning of an escalating proxy war between the US and Iran on Iraqi soil. Simona, Foltyn, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.